Hello YouTube, this is Bruno and this is my build tutorial for the Shulker farm that I presented in another video. So here I won't talk about principles of the farm, but I will tell you in detail how to build it. Now I won't really give a block for block tutorial, but I will give you a detailed time lapse so that you can see what was built exactly in which order and how. But before that, I want to do two things. First, I'm gonna go quickly through the preparations that you want to do. And then I want to explain how to use lava for building, because the key feature of this farm is that we will create the walls out of lava using lava and water to generate cobblestone. Materials first. I assume you have the usual stuff. Good equipment, silk touch, pickaxe. You won't need a lot of weapons. If you have to fight while you build this farm, then you're doing something wrong. You will need plenty of rockets. I would strongly recommend a few totems of undying. If you fall down one of these drop chutes of the farm, then it's very hard to get out. Here are the materials that you really need for the farm. Here are some things that are left to personal preference. All these objects will make certain parts of the farm spawn proof, because a shulker cannot attach to a sign or to a button or to a fence gate. All of them have their advantages and disadvantages. Buttons can be washed away by water. I would suggest to have a lot of signs, because signs are really flexible and they are not redstone components. If you spawn proof a button, you might disturb some redstone around it. This is the redstone required, plus plenty of ice to generate water sources. And I will use glass for the aggression chambers just to be able to debug them. And I strongly recommend you do the same, at least if you have something like free cam, or if you are able to go in spectator mode. You need the stuff to spawn snow golem and just a few redstone components, a few hoppers and a few chests for the output. Then you will need very basic building materials. You will need a generous quantity of slabs, some building blocks, doesn't really matter which one, a few non-stick blocks like glazed terracotta, so that you can use slime extenders for pistons, and you will need plenty of scaffolding. You can find all of this on the world download. Gray is for the temporary blocks, and you will need roughly a shulker box of netherrack. I would recommend netherrack because enderman won't carry it away. You can insta-mine it with decent pickaxe. You will also need a few rails to transport shulkers, a few mine carts, water to create a temporary water source. Potions of invisibility is strongly recommended to get the first shulkers in. Then you need plenty of lava. Most of the lava, of course, will be recycled. If you have a farm like this with 9 aggression cells, you will need 9 buckets of lava for each of the aggression cells, but all the other you get back. However, it absolutely helps to have a large quantity of these, say 4 to 5 shulker boxes if you build a large farm, because then you don't have to wait until the lava reaches the bottom and create the cobblestone, get the lava back, wait until the water is gone. You'll see why this is useful when we actually build it. Then there is kind of a map, and I'm actually writing this down on a piece of paper or an Excel. It's absolutely critical to get the distances right. For example, if you have more than 20 blocks between shulkers, the rates will suffer a lot, or the reaction might even get stuck. And we will return to this height map a bit later when you see how the farm is built. How do we build structures out of lava? The idea is very simple. If you have a template like this, so you have put lava in a hole on top and let it drop down, and you have an identical template at the bottom, so there is a hole here where the lava can flow in, then the lava will not spread around the surrounding blocks. I use gold in this video as marker blocks, so in this case gold marks the center of the farm or the center of the structure that I'm gonna do. So you can see that the lava goes nowhere. And now if I remove the lava and put in water, then I will get cobblestone. There are a few things to consider. The first thing is, if I put in the water too fast, like this, then you see that the lava will just go down because I created just one block of cobblestone. So you want to make sure that the lava has dropped at least one block. It actually doesn't hurt to have adjacent blocks. You want the lava to have dropped to this block, because then this block here will be converted to cobblestone and the water will go down on all sides. We want to wait. And now once this block is visible, I place the water. We have created a beautiful cobblestone pillar. Of course, there's nothing below this level. So the cobblestone starts one block higher than our template. And now we can kind of extend this, for example, and we will actually use this to create the central pillar. You want to get this up to the same level. It's always important that the template has a consistent level. And then we will place 4 lava sources. And lava will spread to the side. So you see that the lava drops down just as we want. And once the lava has reached the bottom, you do the same. But be aware that connected lava drops a lot slower than unconnected lava. So again, you want to make sure that you see this block below that cobblestone block, and then you can place the water and create the cobble. Lava will spread only one block to the side if you place it like this. So as you can see here, even though I had a template that was 5 blocks wide, the lava goes only 3 blocks. And in this farm, what we will do is exclusively use 2 wide templates. So we will do something like this. If you do structures like that, and these are exactly the structures required for the shulker farm, you can actually place water here for the middle, and the water will go down on both sides. This will make both of these pillars here, on the outer pillars, to cobblestone too. So you just need to put water on the middle one, but it's really, really important that you wait until it has dropped down a full block. Now, let's show you how it goes. Okay, here comes the water. And as you can see, we have perfect pillars. And what you also can see is that sometimes there are little gaps. The cobblestone is generated, but this lava drops first, but not this on this side, before the water arrives. But the good thing is that these holes will appear only at the top level. So what we will do build our farm exactly like this. This will be the roof level. So this will be our roof. So, and while we build our roof, you just have to check if there are a few of those holes. You will find a few, just fill them in with cobblestone. And here on the sides, you start by taking out the lava. So you recycle your lava. And then you take out the cobblestone here. And then you can remove the template, and then you have an even surface. There's also a possibility that we have kind of imperfections at the bottom. So it can happen that at times a block here is missing, or maybe even 2, and then maybe a block is here. So you also have to do the cleanup at the bottom. Now it's fundamentally important that the bottom template is on a flat surface. But you can see that at the bottom we now have disaster. You see, if you make a small mistake, you will generate a few extra blocks at the bottom. This can turn into a big issue. So here's one of my early attempts to build this farm. I did make a little mistake. 1 or 2 blocks at the bottom weren't right, or maybe I put in the water too late and didn't see that the lava flew down on the side. All these mistakes are not a problem if you fix them right away. So just take out the lava, wait until it's gone all the way down to the bottom. In this case, I didn't see my mistake, and I just continued to create the pillars. And look what happened here. So yeah, don't hurry up this process. Always check if everything is in order, and something like this won't happen. How do you want to build a farm? First off, you want to make sure that the lava always flows into the template and into the template only. If you see any lava on the side like this, go down, investigate, don't pour water down. If you make a mistake, if you place the water too fast, that's not a big issue. Nothing really will happen. So, because here we have cobble and the lava here will just flow down. So that's not a problem. It's more of a problem if we wait too long, at least if we don't realize it. Here I placed the water too late. As you can see, we have a bit of cobble at the top, which isn't really a problem, but suddenly the lava is flowing in a different way and we have lava where we don't want cobblestone. You remember, if we did everything right, then we had cobblestone blocking the lava off here. So the lava was still contained in here. If you place the water too late, the lava will not contain and will go down the side. Now this looks pretty bad, but actually it isn't, because all you have to do is take out the lava. Wait a moment. And there you see, it isn't even that bad. So you just have to remove a bit of cobble here and add a bit of cobble here, and you pretty much have the structure that you want. So let's repeat the experiment. Here we make the mistake. And we think, it will be fine. But what we don't see is that here the lava has connected and is flowing down. Now we think, okay, let's do the second one. No mistakes this time. But as you can see, at the bottom, we start to get cobblestone here where we don't want it. This will destroy our template at the bottom. So in this case we were lucky, we could have gotten a lot more like this. So the bottom line is, if you make a mistake, it's not a problem if you fix it right away. If you make a mistake, you will always see it, because here is cobblestone where you don't want it and here should be cobblestone. Just take out the lava and go grab a cup of coffee or work on a different part of the farm and wait until all the lava is gone. And you see here, in this case, lava that is connected will stay connected. So here you will have to take out this lava as well. And now slowly the lava will drop. But once the lava is gone, you don't have a problem. Fill in the missing template. Will be fine. And then of course remove the cobble here that doesn't belong here. The one thing that takes a bit of practice is place the water at the correct time. And basically you want the lava to drop like 3 visual steps, and pretty much all your walls will be perfect. Let's work out this height map I was talking about. At the bottom, if we remove the template, we have 1 block space, which we will use for a water transport. But because the farm is so large, we will need more than 8 blocks. Here where the water is flowing down a step, we want to extend ourselves a bit. It's kind of a design choice. The critical issue is that whatever shulker we have should be in aggression range. So let's say this is the lowest place where we want shulkers to sit. Then we have to go 10 blocks up. So this is block 61. This is the lowest place for the shulker. Then we go 10 blocks up. 71. So here we should have the shulker in aggression cell. And that means our snow golem will sit here. And then we just go 20 blocks up and repeat the same procedure. And then we can go 10 blocks upwards and still be in aggression range. If we consider the level at the template here, we have to go 2 blocks down because we will remove the template, obviously. And also here, the top level is so uneven that it's easier to remove it. We will be 2 blocks under the template, so this should kind of be the highest block where the shulker becomes aggressive. So I think you see why I worked out this height map. If we have the same height, then level 60 would be the level of the endstone platform. At height 61 we have the netherrack template. This would also be the lowest level where we want the shulkers to become aggressive. Our cobblestone would be generated up until height 62. This means that at level 71 we need our first shulker. At level 68, 3 blocks below it, would be the snow golem. And then we continue this every 20 blocks. 88 is a snow golem, 91 as a shulker, and so on. Of course we don't have to go up all the way to build height, so if you say, for example, that the last shulker should be at level 211, then 221 would be the end of the aggression zone. 222 would be the roof level, so we would have to build our top template at level 224. And trust me, it helps a lot if you have written this down next to your keyboard or something. There will be several times where you need to know at which height to build what. I apologize for talking so long about building with cobblestone, but it does take a bit of practice. If you know what you're doing, I mean, let's have a look at this farm. You can see we have 85,000 blocks of cobblestone. And it took me roughly 30 minutes to do both templates and the center pillar. And it took me another 30 minutes to create all of the walls. Maybe another 30 minutes to smooth out everything. So at the top and the bottom, to remove the blocks that went wrong. I was able to generate all the structure with over 80,000 blocks in less than 90 minutes. Alright, let's start with the actual build. I have prepared a flat surface of roughly 30 by 30. I have marked the center structure with a few gold blocks. You want to know where your walls are. So here I used Lightmatica. You could use, of course, any other tool. So here, where you can see the shadow of the glass, you will have the walls. So you will actually need a template where you don't have this shadow glass. We start by creating the central pillar out of cobblestone. So mark the center of your farm, scaffold up to the height where your top template is. Place a copy of the center template, here also with gold blocks. Start with your very first lava, and until the lava flows down, you can go on laying down the template at the bottom. Once the lava has reached the center, go up. If you can fly decently, you may land there. If not, well, I hope you have a totem or a fire protection potion. Otherwise, use the scaffolding. Take out the lava, wait until the lava has dropped 2 blocks, and then place water. Now it will take a bit of time, so just go down and continue working on the template until the water has gone all the way down and vanished. Change the template to include the outer 8 blocks and do the same on top. Place 4 buckets of lava in the middle and go down again, continue working on your template. For the next step, have 4 buckets of water in your hotbar. Scoop out the lava, wait until the lava drops to the level of the cobblestone that was already generated in the center, and then place the water on all sides. If you wait a bit too long, that's not a problem. The central pillar here is not critical. And now we create a top platform. I also used Lightmatica to have exactly the same template. And I find that it helps to create a solid platform first and then knock out the blocks where I want the lava to go in. You might want to put down just a few torches to keep Endermen away. The next step is the creation of the aggression cells. The 2 gold blocks mark the place where I will have the scaffolding that I will use to transmit the signal for the opening and the closing of the trapdoors. Go to the correct height, knock out 4 blocks from the central pillar and build the first aggression cell. You can already spawn in the snow golem, but do not place the lava yet because the side structure that blocks off the lava is still missing. Here's how you build an aggression cell away from the scaffolding. Place 1 row of glass blocks on the side and 1 glass block in front of you, on which will be the comparator. Place 2 blocks of snow for the snow golem. Then go up 1 layer, place the trapdoor in the middle, spawn in the snow golem, keep 1 empty block on the side for the lava to lay down. And then you will need 2 more rows of glass, and of course on top towards the cobblestone there must be the hole for the shulker. Make sure that the snow golem is encased on all sides except for the block where the comparator is and for the block where the lava flows. And also make sure that the shulker has only one spot to be and can be only attached to the top. Once you have built all the aggression cells, it's time to put in the scaffolding. As I explained in the creative video, we will use the sites where we will have generated walls, so the spots with the scaffolding will be completely enclosed in cobblestone. Each scaffolding block needs one air block above it, and you can never have 2 scaffolding blocks next to each other, otherwise this would be a hole where a shulker can sit indefinitely. If you did everything correctly, then the distance between the scaffoldings below and above the aggression chambers should be exactly 8 spots, and it can't be any more and it can't be any less. Now on the side where we have knocked out a glass block, we will create a wall because we want to place in the lava as soon as possible into each of the aggression cells. And now it's time to transport the very first shulker. So what you need is rails that are just 1 block below the cobblestone. You need to remove 1 glass block and put it 1 block to the outside with a piston so that you can push it back in place. The missing glass block where the lava will flow down on the side should be away from the piston. I'm standing at the height where we will need the rails. Make a temporary wall on the other side and place an activator rail exactly where the shulker is supposed to be, powered by a redstone torch, and then make a rail connection to the shulker city. You won't have to fear anything from the shulkers as long as you are 20 blocks away. If you get closer, use the invisibility potion and remove your armor so that the shulkers cannot detect you, and continue building the rails to the shulkers. The rails must be next to the shulkers and exactly at the same level as the shulkers, then you can pick up the shulkers. In an end city that has not been raided, there are always 2 very convenient shulkers near the entrance. And the rails using a solid block and a redstone torch, and place a minecart to pick up the first shulker. The shulker will be ejected by the activator rail and should teleport exactly to the block that is attached to the piston. For the second shulker we will prepare a holding cell, so we will encase it in glass so that it can't see us and fire at us while we are building this farm. We will use this shulker later to initialize the farm. Store the shulker far enough away from the city so that you don't need invisibility to pick it up, but also far enough from your farm so that it doesn't interfere with the building. Now we must get the shulker in place. First remove the temporary blocks. We are still invisible so it shouldn't see us. And then activate the piston to push the shulker in place. Now there are 2 ways that the shulker can be attached. It can be attached to the top, as it should, but it can also happen that it's attached to the side. If it's attached to the side, just break the glass block that it's attached to. That will fix the orientation. The shulker must open towards the trapdoor into the place where we will have the lava in a moment. Also now is the time to put the lava in. Then clean up the rails so that they don't interfere with your walls. Return to the roof, and at the side where we have the gold blocks marking the places for the scaffolding, generate our next wall. We will need it in a moment to place our redstone components to open and close the trapdoors. While you wait for the lava to drop down, go and fill all the aggression cells with lava. Use the occasion to make sure that everything is built correctly. The snow golem should be in good health, and there should be the place for the shulker just above the lava. Once you have filled all the aggression cells, the lava for the side wall should have reached the bottom, so you can put water in to generate the wall. Now we put in the redstone controlling the trapdoors. I changed the position of the scaffolding to be on the gold block, so the scaffolding is exactly there where we have one of the 2 scaffoldings later in the farm. At the same height as the comparator, place 2 droppers facing each other and put 1 item in one of the droppers, not in both. Then go 4 blocks down and place 2 observers such that the face points towards the scaffolding, or the red dot points towards the snow golem. Then have 2 observers pointing down, so the red dot is upwards, into the cobblestone block that is below the droppers. Or replace the cobblestone block if you knocked it out to place the observers. And that's the redstone. Repeat this process for every aggression cell. And now it's time to generate the walls. Empty your inventory and put as many lava buckets in there as you can handle. Fill every second row, so there must be one row of space, otherwise the lava generation will not work. Next to the center we have 4 blocks that don't follow the usual pattern, so these will be generated first. After that, fill as many holes in the template as you have lava buckets available. And before you start with the wall creation, it's a very good idea to check that the templates match. So the lava should end up exactly in the template as you can see here. If you suspect that you have made a mistake, identify the part of the template, remove of the lava, fix it and put in the lava again. Also make sure that the lava has reached the bottom template and then start filling in the water as shown in the first part of the video. If you left out a part of the template, like I did here in the front left part, you can still put lava in there and generate it later, as long as it's in the same row that we are processing and not in the rows in between. Check from time to time that everything looks good. All the walls should go straight down. And at the bottom, make sure that no lava has spilled over and the cobblestone is only where it's supposed to be. Here it is very helpful to use a mod like Mini Hut, which allows me to stay on the roof but to point the camera down, similar to observer mode, except that the player stays where it is and is actually vulnerable. This way I don't have to fly down to check if everything is in order. If you have generated a decent number of walls, you will have enough full lava buckets to fill the rest of the template. If the time comes to put lava in the parts of the template that we left open, the rows that we left empty in the first run, you should check that at the bottom there is no water. If any part of the downward lava should happen to hit the water, you're in trouble. And then you're good to go to create the rest of the walls. Once you're done, remove the netherrack at the top and any cobble that is at the level below the netherrack to get a flat roof. During this process, check for missing blocks. As I showed you, there will be a few missing blocks on the cobblestone, and now is the time to fill them. Once you have removed the netherrack and the top cobble, use slabs to fill in the drop chutes. So each drop chute should have a roof of 2 top slabs. If you use ice to generate the water on the roof, you can already place the ice blocks that you need, space them out by 2 blocks, such that later you just have to break the ice to create water sources throughout the roof. Then if you happen to make a few minor mistakes at the bottom, remove the cobble that is in the way. We're almost done. Now we remove the netherrack at the bottom and prepare the water transport. We will have the water in a way that it flows over 2 levels to the inside. And the easiest way is probably to extend the water transport to make a square below the farm so that the corners of the square are a bit outside the farm. The water should start at kind of the flat side of the drop chutes, because otherwise the mechanism to open and close the trapdoors will be in the way. The main task you have to do here is to check every drop chute if at the bottom there are a few cobblestone blocks generated that do not belong there, and remove these cobblestone blocks. You may also have a few blocks missing that you have to fill in. The dimensions are such that you should have exactly 8 blocks from the outside on the first level, then another 8 blocks, so you will have to place more water sources on the inside. If you have to fix something, it's actually easier if you do it before you place the water. Find the gold blocks marking the place for the scaffolding and go 1 block to the outside for each of them, where we will place the trapdoors. Place redstone blocks in these spots and surround them by non-stick blocks, for example glazed terracotta or pumpkins or leaves. Then go 1 block to the outside, place a solid block, and above the redstone block the trapdoors as shown here. Now place scaffolding on the solid blocks, on the trapdoors and on the 2 blocks in the middle, and then build up the scaffolding until you hit the roof of the farm. Verify the redstone, ideally with a tool like MiniHut again, with the FreeCam. If you open one trapdoor here at the bottom, then all of the trapdoors between the snow golem and the shulkers should be open. And if you open the other trapdoor, then all of the trapdoors above should be closed. In the inner part of the water collection, where the water collection is one block lower, extend the drop chutes by one block using any solid blocks. Then create a little room with sticky pistons facing upwards and slime blocks so that you can move the redstone blocks. Between the water streams you should have exactly one block room, and there you create the usual water channel to one of the sides of the farm. Dig a tunnel to the outside, at least 8 blocks away from the farm. Finish with a block of soul sand. This will be the item elevator for the shulker shells coming out of the farm. Pillar up on a few ice blocks for the water transport. Then at some point you will have to fill in the corners of the water transport, because there will be water coming from above. On the inside, where the water stream drops down one block, you should use a combination of signs and slabs to make sure that no shulker can hide here under the cobblestone pillars, like so. Finish by creating the clocks controlling the farm. So one clock should be a hopper clock, because we need a cycle of about 15 seconds. Every time this clock fires, we will activate the piston that opens the trapdoors, and a little delay circuit using a comparator pulse extender, so that the other piston is activated after roughly 2.5 seconds. Dig a tunnel that is parallel to the water transport, fill in a redstone line, and place a piston that can push a redstone block down to activate this redstone line. The redstone line goes into the hopper clock, so you have a on-off switch to control the farm. Because if you stop the hopper clock, the trapdoors won't open anymore and the shulkers won't be aggressive. Build a little storage. The farm will produce about 1 double chest per hour. For simplicity, I just put down a few chests, but maybe you want to add a shulker box loader. Now we are ready to build the rails to put the last shulker into the farm. Just have a cactus block very close to the farm and the rails going into the cactus block, so the minecart will be broken. Spawn-proof everything so the shulker has nowhere to go. Fly up to the roof, break all the ice blocks so that all of the roof is filled by water sources. Go back to the bottom and do the last of the spawn-proofing, at least 8 blocks away from the farm. Everything must be covered by water or spawn-proofed. Also have a look around the farm that the outside is covered by a solid water wall. There shouldn't be any cobblestone that doesn't have water coming down next to it. Make sure the farm is turned off. The last step is to bring in the final shulker. Just send off the minecart into the cactus, and if the shulker has nowhere to go, it will teleport inside of the farm and sit there. Now is also a good time to break the rails and place a few trapdoors on the outside, just in case you want to store a few shulkers there, as explained in my creative video. Top slabs with redstone on them are spawn proof, so you don't have to do anything there. But if you have any solid blocks, make sure there's no face for shulkers to attach to. And your farm is done. If you turn it on, the shulker that you just brought in should start to fire, hit itself, and replicate. To fill the remaining aggression cells, run the farm for 5 to 10 minutes until you have a sufficient number of shulkers. Then you start by removing the slabs on the top, starting on the outside. Here it really helps if the roof is completely covered by water sources. That's why I use the ice in a cross pattern spaced out by 2, because this way they will generate water sources on every block. Once you have removed the slab in the middle, you will have to wait a moment until the water drops down. If you don't use a 2-life precam, you can use the chute where you have the 2 scaffoldings in, controlling the redstone. You can go down and knock out a few blocks, replace them with glass to see what's going on inside the aggression chambers. After a few minutes, usually all of the aggression chambers will be filled up, maybe 1 or 2 are still empty. Then just place a few slabs to close off the chutes in the center. Use maybe a stack or a stack and a half of slabs so that the shulkers have enough room for their next reaction. Wait until the water is cleared, get down, turn on the farm, wait a few minutes, turn it off again, wait for the reaction to die down, and then check if all the aggression chambers are filled. If they are, you're done. You can close off the rest of the roof. If not, you'll have to repeat the procedure. If you have problems getting direction going, either with the first shulker or later, please check my other video where I describe the workings of the farm. There I give you a few troubleshooting options, what could go wrong and how to fix it. Otherwise, this farm was built in pretty much a vanilla setting. I do use mods like Fabric, Carpet, Tweakeroo and Mini Hut, but none of them really change the mechanics of the game. So if you have any issues in another version, let me know and we'll try to work them out. If you ask if this will work on Bedrock, I have no clue. I don't really play Bedrock. I don't know if the mob mechanics are the same here. I'm pretty sure this version has some room for improvement. It's kind of a version 1 of the farm that I built. So if you have any ideas on how to improve the farm, just let me know. I would be very interested to hear it. Otherwise, thanks for listening so long. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave comments if you have any questions or need any more details. Please check the description. Once the video is out, I can't really change the video, but I can add to the description or pin comments in case I want to add some details to the video. Okay guys, thanks a lot for staying with me, and until the next time, bye bye.